before I learned this, peace eluded me. I had a major wake-up call one day, sitting on a sun lounger on a white sandy beach, literally in the Caribbean. I was lying on this sun lounger, turquoise water and white sand as far as I could see, and I was in turmoil. I was suffering. I was just in so much pain. I almost wanted to be in field position on that sun lounger. It was so uncomfortable. And my suffering had really nothing to do with what was happening that day. It certainly had nothing to do with what was happening in that moment, because my moment was literally picture perfect. My suffering was happening because of what was happening, because of my relationship with my mind. I identified in a story in my head. I was going around and round in that story like a hamster in a wheel. I was feeling my thinking. And because my thinking was of a suffering nature, that was what I was experiencing. And I was still at that point seeking peace from what I was externally aware of rather than what was internally aware. Now, it can get a bit confusing when I use the word externally when I'm talking about thoughts, because we think thoughts are happening inside us. But even the thoughts themselves, they are kind of outside that which is aware of them in a way. In a way, the consciousness is the context of all thought, of everything. Yes, I get that, but instead of what was internally aware, I was moving out onto what I was aware of, and that can also be an internal thought. That can also be an internal feeling or a physical sensation. Does that make sense? That's what I mean by externally aware. My potential was moving that direction instead of this direction. This direction. It's going to be very subtle, especially when it's more internal, but our attention can be always moving away from that which is aware. Come back now. Rest back into that which is aware of whatever is occurring right now. And see what that's like. Breathe. Give yourself permission to find peace. Give yourself permission to really stop the search. Give your permission to really be. But don't do being. Rest into that which is already being. Any doing you're going to try and do is going to potentially move you out again. And all doing comes from the subtle belief, I am not that which I seek. So I have to somehow try to find it or eventually become it. You are what you seek.